And at this point, I'm going to introduce our survivor speaker, something she has been involved in. She has been involved in the North Branford Relay for Life in years past. Obviously, this is something that's important to her. She is a living example of the hope and of why everyone's here today. Monica Baer.
Thanks, Chris. Are all the survivors here? I need to see all the survivors. Can everybody come up? Because after I speak, we're going to do our lap. So I really would like all the survivors to come close to the stage. And everybody else, I like a big crowd. Come on, everybody come forward. Great. Okay. I want to thank everyone for coming out today for this wonderful Shoreline Relay for Life. It is very heartwarming for me, and I know all the other survivors here today, to feel the love and support that all of you have given us and continue to give us. I'm going to start by saying that we're all here for the same reason. Someone we know, a parent, a sibling, a relative, a neighbor, a coworker, maybe even yourself, is struggling with cancer. And you want to support that person the very best you know how. And coming out to the Relay for Life is a great way to do that. You walk, you ask everyone you know to donate money, all with the hope that in your lifetime, cancer will be eradicated and that no one else will have to suffer from this disease. We are all here for the same reason, to see the end of cancer and all the pain and suffering that it causes. I want to thank all my friends, my sister that have come out to support me today, my husband. I'm going to tell you my story. I am a 30-year cancer survivor. I have had cancer for over half of my life. My first diagnosis was at the age of 24 when I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. It was in the early 80s, I was 24, and the only thing they knew how to do then for treatment was to zap you with very high doses of radiation. So I endured 8 weeks of this intense radiation to my neck, chest, and abdomen. I had high hopes that I would be cured, and guess what? My disease did not reoccur, and after more than 10 years of worry and dread that it would come back, I finally began to accept that I had beaten it, and I felt like the luckiest person in the entire world. And even though I was told that chances were high that I would be sterile due to the radiation, I miraculously gave birth to my only child, Lindsay, in August of 1988. I was the happiest mother in the whole world. And I felt so blessed that I was given this gift despite my fears and medical past. Life was good, and let me tell you, I was the happiest stay-at-home mom in the entire world. There was no one that enjoyed it more than me to take care of my miracle child. But cancer crept back into my life when my father was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer in 1991. He was by far the bravest man that ever lived. He was my best friend, and he managed to stay alive for 6 years, even though he was told he had to. He was a fighter, a champion, the wind beneath my wings, and the greatest role model a daughter could have ever hoped for. But in 1997, he succumbed to his illness and passed away surrounded by his loving family. I was devastated at the loss and miss him every day of my life. I tried to take the time and properly mourn his loss, but cancer has a way of showing up when you least expect it, and once again crept back into my life when my best friend of 28 years, Geraldine, was diagnosed with breast cancer shortly after my dad passed away. What can I say? It was a very aggressive cancer, and Geraldine really never had a chance. She fought as bravely and as valiantly as my dad had, never ever complained, but nonetheless passed away in my arms in 2002 on my daughter's 14th birthday. And all this was happening while I was taking care of my mom, who had also just been diagnosed with bladder cancer and had moved in with me during her treatments. I tried to be strong for her, even though I was profoundly sad. How much can a person take, I thought? Surely God would give me a break and let me have some good years with no cancer. Surely I would have a respite from cancer and all the struggles and the trauma that it brings. After all, how cruel can the world be? But that respite was not to be. In July of 2003, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, 6 months after Geraldine passed away. I found the lump myself during an examination of my right breast. I had a radical mastectomy and 9 months of chemo. I suffered horrible side effects and was very sick. They told me that I likely got the breast cancer from the extreme amounts of radiation that I incurred 22 years earlier for the Hodgkins. My daughter was a freshman in high school, and I was so afraid that I would not live to see her graduate. I was angry, I was sad, I was scared, but committed to fight this fight with all my might and all my resources. And I did. I was bald for a year, learned a whole lot about myself from walking around with a bald head and no hat. Lessons I am very grateful for. I met the most amazing women and made friendships that will hopefully last a lifetime. I fought for my life and I won yet another battle. I was once again a survivor. And yes, I attended my daughter's graduation with a profound sense of hope and extreme accomplishment. So that was 2003. You might wonder where I stand right now in 2011. Well, I'll tell you. In August of 2009, cancer crept back into my life once again when I was diagnosed with a recurrence of my breast cancer with metastasis to my bones. I incurred a compression fracture to the spine, and after extensive testing, I was told that my cancer had come back. It had spread to much of my bones, my spine, shoulders, hips, skull, and legs. I was shocked. It took me by total surprise. I was feeling good, did not have the kind of pain I always heard that you get when it goes to your bones. I was angry and said that once again, I would likely not live to see my daughter's graduation. Why did this happen to me? I wanted answers. I wanted someone to tell me why. I demanded to know what I had done to deserve such lousy luck. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there are no answers. There is no rabbi or priest that can tell you why this happens. And I have finally learned to stop asking those questions. That is not what is important at this point in my life. What is important is this. I am living with stage 4 breast cancer. I am not dying from it. I don't want anyone here to feel sorry for me, pity me, or look at me with anything but hope. Last week, I attended my daughter's college graduation. I was surely the proudest and happiest person in the attendance, for I had reached another milestone in my survival. And here's more good news. My disease has not spread anywhere in almost 2 years. I take my drugs, endure the side effects, have good days and bad, and through it all, I am grateful every day for the blessings that I have. My wonderful, supportive friends and family, my husband, my daughter, and the miracle of modern science and medicine that is keeping me alive. Do I still get scared and wonder what will be? Of course. I am only human. But I don't dwell on it anymore. I think about today. If not in our lifetime that we will see cancer being wiped out, then in the lifetime of our children and their children. It can be done. I have to believe that. After all, I am living proof of all the advances that have been made in just the last 5 years alone. My mother remains cancer-free, has beaten the odds of a recurrence, and I am so grateful. So let me be an inspiration to all of you here today. I want you to know that where there is life, there is hope. And I have all the hope in the world that I will make it to yet another important milestone. I just won't have it any other way. I have way too much left to do and see in my life, and I am not ready to give up or give in. So walk with me today around the track with the hope that all of our loved ones will beat this disease, and that someday soon we will live in a world without cancer. My name is Monica Baer, and I am a survivor.